The Expos take the field here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. The second game of a 4-game series last night. As you get a good look at Marquise Grissom heading out to center field. Al Raboski, they called this an inside the park home run. No matter any way you look at it, the man can fly.
Well, he can fly. You'll see the timer as he goes around the bases. Should have been a double or triple and an error, but they rule it an inside the park home run. It wins the ball game, and Marquise Grissom, one of the fastest right-handed batters, circled the bases. Remember, he didn't think inside the park when he began, but he circled the bases 14.4. Marquise was telling me the fastest he could ever remember going down the line to first was 3.7, and that is flying from the right side, the right-handed part of the batter's box.
Joe Torre thought he had something working last night in the 9th inning when, with 2 out, Geronimo Pena tied the game with a home run off John Wetland. He hopes for another exciting one tonight, and hopefully the Cardinals will end up on top. Here's his lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It is just plain smart. Bernard Gilkey in left, then Ozzie, then Greg Jeffries hitting third. Ray Langford back in the lineup. Todd Zeile batting in the 5 spot. Mark Whitten is in right. Geronimo Pena hit the home run last night, also had another hit. He's batting in the 7 hole. Then Tom Pagnozzi, the catcher, and the left-hander Tom Urbani pitching tonight. He's batting 9th. The defense for the Expos: Moises Alou in left, Marquise Grissom in center, and Cliff Floyd in right. With Barry, Cordero, Lansing, and Walker on the infield. Lenny Webster catching the right-hander Kenny Hill. And Al, the former Cardinal, one of 2 and the only 2 14-game winners in the National League. He is putting together a fantastic season.
Really is. And he just ever since he's come to the Expos, he's been outstanding. He has a career mark with the Expos of 39-21. That was after being 23-32 with St. Louis. Here's where you can see how he ranks: first in wins, 5th in winning percentage, 7th in ERA, and he's looking to become the fastest Montreal Expos in their history to reach the 15-win plateau. Charlie Lee won 15 games. He is the highest and fastest to win that amount, but with a victory here tonight, Kenny Hill would surpass that total.
Hill will face Gilkey, Ozzie, and Jeffries for the Cardinals here in the 1st. And Ken Hill trying to help the Expos stay at the least 3.5 games out in front of Atlanta in the National League East. They're playing at New York while the Expos entertain here in Montreal. Kenny Hill looking in search of win number 15, and he has only 5 losses, a National League All-Star. Gilkey rips it to center. Grissom goes back, 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Gilkey hit it hard, but Grissom chased it down, 1 away.
Cardinals have defeated Kenny Hill earlier this year, where Al Cormier was the starter in that one. That was back on May the 14th. Matter of fact, that was the last time Cormier has made a start for the Redbirds. He will make one tomorrow. That's that numbers right there. Ozzie hit a home run in that game, and so did Whitten.
Here is Ozzie. Ozzie looks at strike 1. 2 out of 4 last night, and for the season hitting .248. Lenny Webster doing the catching for Montreal tonight. You never know who you might find in their lineup on a nightly basis.
Right. Webster, they say, is just an excellent receiver. He can catch and throw with the best of them. But they also talk about a guy that has won about 3 or 4 games for Felipe with his bat.
One of them came here against the Cardinals on that distressing Sunday afternoon loss. Chopped off the plate. Lansing, a tough play. 2 out. A line drive out, the high hopper for the out, and Lansing made a nice play to his right.
Well, they got a bunch of scrappy little ball players, and Lansing and Sean Berry are kind of examples of that. These guys will do whatever it takes to win ball games for Felipe and the Expos, and they are winning games at record paces here. The best record in baseball, Montreal Expos.
Greg Jeffries hitting .327, digs in. The 6th best average in the National League. He looks at ball 1. And he's handled Kenny Hill rather well over the years. Ball and a strike.
Greg told me you look fastball off of Kenny Hill.
He throws too hard to look for the split finger or the slider.
And the chopper to short. Cordero had him played perfectly, and the Cardinals go in order in the first. Alou will look for some runs in the bottom of the first inning. Going there, no score. Bottom of the first inning, no score here in Montreal. Cardinals went in order. A look at the Expos lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It is just plain smart. Grissom, then Barry, then Moises Alou back in the lineup. He took the night off last night. Larry Walker, Will Cordero, Lenny Webster, Cliff Floyd, Mike Lansing batting eighth, and Kenny Hill, a good athlete, pitching and batting ninth. The defense for the Cardinals, Gilkey, Langford, Whitten with Zeal, Ozzie, Pena, Jeffries on the infield. Tom Pagnozzi catching left-hander Tom Urbani, a record of 2 and 6.
Now this is going to be his 8th start and his 18th appearance overall. His 2 victories, both of them have been combined shutouts. And as a starter, he is 2 and 4 with an ERA just over 4. His run support a bit low, 3.1 per game. But since his recall, he's 1 and 1 and a 2.87 ERA in 3 starts.
He has thrown well since being recalled. He's made good starts against Atlanta, and then got into the 8th inning and fell apart in the 8th his last time out against the Mets.
I'm sorry, it was only 2 starts. So. You know what was most disturbing to Tom Urbani in that last start is he gave you 7 1/3 innings. He was tired a little bit. He gave up a 2-run home run to Tim Bogart. He had 3 2-run home runs in that game, but he never utilized his changeup. After that game, he was sitting there and saying, "I never threw a changeup." And I remember when he was tired there and gave up that 2-run home run to Bogart. That would have been a perfect time.
Grissom pops it into shallow right, a leadoff hit. Whitten over to cut it off. Grissom with a big turn, but he'll hold at first. We saw the great speed last night, and Grissom thought about trying to challenge Whitten, but then thought better of it. Look at the stolen base totals in this lineup.
That's the lineup tonight. Only Lenny Webster does not have a steal. Moises Alou, who had that career-threatening injury last year in St. Louis, is the only one in the lineup other than the catcher that isn't in double figures. And last night when Alou didn't play, they put in Frazier. That was what, 20?
20 out of 23. Sean Barry has stolen 12. As you can see, he's been caught 0 times this season, and he's not a burner. So you can't tell me that it's just not good aggressive baseball.
And it gets contagious, like hitting, like running. And you can imagine how many times the speed of the Expos has forced the opposition to make mistakes.
Ball 1 to Barry. Talking with Ken Singleton, of course, former big league ball player and now radio and television voice here in Montreal. He said this Expos ball club does more with 10 hits than other teams do with 15, because they get on base, they take an extra base, they steal a base, they force the issue, and they just try to push you until you make a mistake.
Joe, that seems like the formula the Cardinals had in the 80s. Remember they said, we'll take 10 singles, we'll turn them into doubles and triples because of our ability to steal. You know, the other thing is, Felipe has convinced his team, don't be afraid to make a mistake. And by not being afraid, they don't make many.
Here's a fantastic stat. When the Montreal Expos get 10 or more hits, they are 44-9. They get on base, and they're tough to stop from scoring.
Oh, another aspect is their pitching. Second best to the Atlanta Braves.
While Urbani has played around with Grissom over at first, he's 3-0 on Sean Barry.
This is what you're talking about. Speed can be a disruptive factor. It puts pressure on the defense. It puts a lot of pressure on the battery. And here Urbani is splitting his concentration, worrying about the runner at first.
Able to get his strike in there, 3-1. Moises Alou will be next, and then Larry Walker. Almost a complete reversal of the lineup from last night for the Expos. 3-1 pitch, runner going, and Barry pops it into right. Pretty well hit at the wall. Langford gone. 2-run home run. Barry, number 9. 2-0 Montreal.
Sean Barry is another one of those players that you put him with a good ball club and he becomes that much better. He gets a good count to hit off and he just drives this ball to the opposite field and Langford runs out of territory. Tom Urbani has given up 4 two-run home runs in his last 2 starts.
Now Alou hits one down the line but foul. Strike 1. Moises Alou sat out last night's game. He's been bothered by a bad hamstring. But he's back in there tonight. Quite a punch in the 3 and 4 spots with Alou and Walker.
Sean Barry contributing in the number 2 hole. And that's when you get that kind of production out of the guys like Sean Barry. He was the 8th place hitter last night, 2 tonight. Then you start getting into this thunder. This is one of the most exciting young players in the game, and those numbers back it up.
Ball and a strike on Alou. Nobody on or out, and the chopper to the left side. Ozzie going to have to hurry. No play. 3 straight hits.
Ozzie playing back, comes in on it, gets a high hop. He goes up, and then I think he just felt that even though Alou with a sore hamstring missing 3 games, he just didn't want to take a chance of making an off-balance acrobatic throw and have a chance of throwing it away. Alou told me, he said, I've sat out 3 days. I'm going to get 3 hits tonight.
Walker looks at an inside strike.
Inside, huh?
Hey. Walker hitting .320 against Cardinal pitching this season. Well over 300, I would guess. Again inside, and gotta like what you see here.
All right, jammed him very effectively. Pitch up and in, and then he fouls it off his shin. You can see he wears a protector, so this is quite common. Tries to open up, and when he does so, he leaves that front foot exposed. Urbani, after the 3 hits, down 2-0, going to start pitching now.
0-2 the count, and he wouldn't chase it. Ball 1. Blue pit to right by Grissom. A 2-run home run to right by Barry. Infield hit by Alou. Got it. First down of the inning as Urbani strikes out Walker.
Breaking ball, but it all was set up with those 2 fastballs in on it.
Here's another change in their lineup. Will Cordero hitting in the 5 spot. Last night it was Fletcher, their catcher. Cordero nothing out of 4 last night, but he has hit left-handed pitching well. To the left side, 2 on, 1 out. 4th hit of the inning.
So I don't know if you could see this, but it looked like once again Urbani was concerned with the runner at first. Watch his stride. I mean, it's almost like he just lobbed that ball in there trying to slide step. Look at this. throwing all arm, no body, and the ball's just laying right up there and saying, hit me. Altered everything to do the slide step to guard against a loose stealing, and when he did so, it just changed the mechanics of pitching to where he had nothing behind the delivery.
Lenny Webster digs in, hitting .283 with 21 RBIs. He has 2 on with 1 out.
The Expos are second in the National League in RBIs from their catcher, second to the Dodgers. And obviously the Dodgers got great production from Piazza. But they have 3 catchers here, led by Fletcher. And there's Tim Spear and Webster. They've gotten a lot of production from those catchers.
Urbani would love that double play ball. Ball 1.
Kind of hard to get a ground ball when you're up in the strike zone or up out of the strike zone.
Little low, 2-0.
Urbani came now. All of a sudden, Joe Coleman. I wonder if Joe Coleman's going to come out, and it just looks like I made the point that Urbani did not throw any changeups in his last game. Now it looks like he's just trying to guide the ball. He's afraid to throw it for some reason. And standing straight up, not utilizing his lower half, not driving towards the plate, throwing all arm.
Joe Torre has seen his club fall behind here 2-0, and the Expos threaten for a bigger rally. They have 2 on, only 1 out, and a 2-0 count on Webster. 3-0. And this is something we have not seen from Urbani since his recall. He looks like a completely different pitcher. .3-0 on Webster. Right down the middle. Three singles, a 2-run home run in this inning. 2 on, 1 out. Webster ought to get something to hit here. 3-1 the count. Urbani slowing it down, trying to buy a little time. .3-1 pitch. Runners are going, and that's to Ozzie. Might be 2. They got them both. 6-4-3. Fantastic play by Ozzie and Pena. Great turn at second base. The big blow in the inning. The 2-run shot by Sean Berry. After 1 inning in Montreal, 2-0 Expos. Call 813-987-5082 for more information. Cardinals bat in the second inning, down 2-0. They'll send in Langford, Zeal, and Whitten. Kenny Hill had a perfect first inning. Langford hitting .271 with 17 home runs, 50 RBIs, and he's hit 2 home runs in his career against former teammate Kenny Hill. .2-0. Langford did not start in last night's game. Came in as a pinch hitter and bat in the 9th inning and saw 1 pitch and fly to left. Hill has a 2-0 lead to work with now, and the 2-0 pitch misses. 3-0. Ken Hill has struck out 84, walked 41. 142 innings. He walks Langford on 4 straight pitches to start the second after he gets a 2-run lead. This scouting report is brought to you by your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealers, where real advantages make a real difference.
You can see what Kenny Hill has done in his 2+ seasons with the Expos, looking for win number 40, and has only lost 21 times. He's tied with Greg Maddux for number 1 in the National League with 14 victories. And this year he's had an ERA of 5.73 against the Cardinals. The rest of the league 2.96. So he is amongst the league leaders in numerous pitching categories. But the Cardinals had tagged him with a loss earlier this year, and they'd like to do so again tonight.
Leadoff man aboard. Langford has stolen 11. He's 11 out of 20 in the stolen base department. Not a very good percentage at all. Strike 1 to Zeal. Hitting .267 with 15 home runs and 58 RBIs. Zeal had a fantastic month of July. Trying to start out hot in August. Trying to go the other way. Strike 2. The month of July was kind to Todd Zeal.
See the league averages. Todd amongst the big guys with a .347 average. Bagwell. Well, I voted for him for the player of the month. We haven't heard yet. Up here, news comes a little late.
0-2. Ball 1. Yeah, I voted for Bagwell and I voted for Brett Saberhagen.
I did the same.
Saberhagen had a terrific month. ERA of less than 1.5 and a record of 4-0.
4-0. He had 6 starts. I think he had 3 complete games, and I know he should have had, or he could have easily had one against us. Did they take him out after 8? To give a little work.
No, he went the full 9.
Did he go the full 9? I know he was dominant.
In fact, he struck out Zeal to end the ball game.
Ah, that's right.
1-2 the count. Langford drew a leadoff walk, and Hill gives him a look. Talking to Zeal and some of the other Cardinal hitters about Rojas last night, said in this ballpark it's tough to pick up that split-fingered pitch. Whatever the lighting may be or the background, he said it's tough to see, and you could tell by the swings that the Cardinals were getting off Rojas last night that they were not comfortable. The same might happen tonight with Kenny Hill. 1-2 pitch. Langford starts and stops, and Zeal hammers at a high pitch.
And a good rip at it. Ray looked like he wanted to go, and I think Todd Zeal probably will see more sliders from Kenny Hill than any other hitter. Kind of gotten away from throwing that slider, really just more of the fastball and the split finger. But
leadoff man on, a 1-2 count on Zeal here in the second. And Zeal another pretty good swing. I guess the rap against Ken Hill when he was with the Cardinals was great arm, but an erratic arm. He didn't really have good command of the strike zone, and when he'd get into trouble, he'd put men on or fall behind hitters. But that's been pretty much erased by Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach here in Montreal. His control is much better.
Having the opportunity to pitch and to go out there every 5 days, no matter what's going to happen, you're still going to get the ball. That's a big lift off a pitcher, young pitcher. And when he first joined the Expos, they weren't this classy of a team. You know, they were a young team, and they could afford to let him develop.
1-2 pitch. Zeal fouls another. So a good at bat here for Zeal, but we'll see who wins the little battle between Hill and Zeal. Witten will be next. 1-2 . 2 1 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1 2 . 1
And come inside with a fastball.
And he missed inside, 2-2. Fastball jumps, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. See, I think that pitch right there, Joe, used to be called a strike. And, you know, if you're going to be successful this year or now, you have to pitch inside, but you have to be in a position to where you don't have to throw strikes because the umpires won't call it. They're going to try and do it again.
Lankford is running now, and Zeal fouls another away.
Didn't have the control of that pitch. They wanted it inside, and it was really back out over the plate. If you can get Kenny Hill into a situation where you can guess fastball, that's when he gets into trouble, because yes, he throws hard, but if you're looking fastball against him, it doesn't have a great deal of movement. When you're looking fastball and he throws that split finger or has the command to throw pitches off the plate is when you're in trouble. It's been a good at bat for Todd, no matter what he does.
Count is 2-2.
It's going to be the split finger, I believe.
Lankford running. Zeal hits it deep to left. That might tie it if it's fair. It is a home run, and we're tied at 2. Number 16, 60 RBIs, and that ties this game. What a good at bat by Todd Zeal.
Hanging split finger is exactly what he got. When he was forced to throw a strike, he was reluctant to throw another fastball. His slider's not really biting real well right now. And watch where this split finger goes. Kind of Todd, kind of a funny swing, but he drives this ball as far as have you ever seen him drive one. 16th home run of the year, 60 RBIs.
Now Witten stands in. The game is tied. A 2-run home run by Berry, answered by a 2-run home run by Zeal. And Todd up to the 60 RBI plateau. Now 2-0 on Witten, so maybe Kenny Hill is struggling, and that's something we should come to expect against the Cardinals, the way he's thrown against St. Louis this season.
Well, it just seems like they're so much better suited for the power pitcher. The off speed, the junk baller is the type of pitcher that gives the Cardinals trouble. Guy that'll come up there and challenge it. You know, they're a fastball hitting team.
2-1 pitch to Witten. 2-2.
Well, I know he hit his 15th home run a year ago on September 18th. I don't know when he hit his 16th home run a year ago, but obviously is the home run department, he's way ahead.
Witten breaks his bat, flies one to Grissom, and that's the first out of the inning. Cardinals are getting some pretty full swings against Ken Hill, even in the early going.
Kenny's lost 2 of his last 3 starts since the All-Star break. And see, not real happy with himself right there. Shaking his head a little bit, but this is a long contest tonight.
Pena, what an at bat he had last night against Wetland. He eventually tied the game in the 9th inning with home run number 11 for the year.
On to Tim Johnson, I said I was shocked that Wetland threw him a 2-2 fastball. And he said, so were we.
And Pena's drilled. Thinks about it. And he'll just walk on down to first.
Sounded pretty good from up here. Kenny has now hit 6 batters on the year. And you see, he just really, watch him start to stride into it. He just doesn't react and pick up the flight of the ball until the last second, and it's too late for him to react. He's going, yeah, he throws pretty hard. I got laces now to tell me Leonard Coleman.
Well, Geronimo's a little full right now, so he didn't want to run out there and take a bite out of Kenny like he did with Darren Holmes of the Rockies. Here's Pagnozzi. 1 on, 1 out. Go ahead, run aboard. Pags hitting .273. With fastball, strike 1. 4 home runs for Pagnozzi, 34 RBIs. Had the beginning portion of the night off last night, took over in the 9th, and was the one who caught the throw, the cutoff throw from Pena. A little too late when Grissom slid in with an inside the park home run to win it in the 10th. Into center field, Grissom right there. 2 out.
Well, Grissom plays such a shallow center field that it's another aspect to how good he is in the outfield. A lot of those little dunkers that fall in front of other center fielders, he catches and gobbles them all up, and then we've seen already how good he is at going back on a ball also.
Pretty good hitting pitcher. Tom Urbani digs in. 4 out of 18, hitting .222. Irby has yet to hit a big league home run. He will someday. Get a pretty good swing. Runner on at first and 2 out. Game tied here in the 2nd inning. And a 2-0 count on Urbani. Two and 0 on Urbani. Ought to get something to hit right here. Into center field. Grissom retired the side along with Kenny Hill. But in the meantime, after a leadoff walk to Langford, Todd Zeile went deep down the left field line. His shot ties the game at 2 here in the 2nd. Tied at 2, bottom of the 2nd inning, and Tom Urbani back to work. Have you seen the Cardinals magazine yet? It's loaded with articles about your favorite Redbirds, past and present. Full color photos, action posters, and games and trivia. Something for Cardinal fans of all ages. You can subscribe by calling 314-982-7336. Also find them at Schnucks, Dearborn's, newsstands within the St. Louis area. Cliff Floyd leads it off. He looked at ball 1. Putting together a very solid rookie season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals will send Real Cormier to the mound tomorrow night. He'll be opposed by Gil Heredia. Should have been Facero, but he's on the disabled list. Good breaking pitch, strike 2.
Facero's on the disabled list with a injured right side. Kind of pulled the right side above his rib cage. Look at that pitch.
That's a good pitch inside. 2nd strikeout for Urbani, and he's giving us what we wanted to see more of last night, pitching inside to these Montreal hitters.
Well, just when you look at this swing, now you tell me what looks more fluid. Swinging like this, being tied up, handcuffed, or getting your arms extended and driving the ball.
1 out, nobody on, and the batter is Mike Lansing. He looks at a ball. Well, Real Cormier's pitching tomorrow night. He'll probably jam hitters.
And I'll tell you one thing, if he doesn't, we're going to GM him, right?
That's right.
We're going to get all over him because he's intelligent enough. He's intelligent enough. He's smart enough. And he's getting to have an opportunity to watch Urbani tie up hitters.
2-0 pitch. A little high, I guess. 3-0 with Ken Hill on deck.
Hopefully Real is someplace that he can see how easy it is when you watch on TV.
1 out, nobody on. The leadoff strikeout of Cliff Floyd. And Lansing looks at a strike. Mike was 0 for 3 last night. For a while was the leadoff hitter for the Expos, but he's back down at the bottom of the order. And to the second baseman Pena with the backhand, 2 out. And back from 3-0, he got his man and will make Kenny Hill swing the bat here with 2 out in the second. I always thought Ken Hill would develop into a little better hitter than he has. Hill 6 out of 45. That's it. Hitting a .133. He is leading the National League with 13 sacrifice bunts. The hitting has never really come too easy to him. Seems like a pretty good athlete.
Well, he is a good athlete. Started as a shortstop. High school was pretty good. Little shortstop.
Quickly it's 0-2.
And that's why he's not a good hitter. Uncle Charlie.
2 out, nobody on. Urbani trying to keep it tied now through 2. Expos got a 2-run shot from Barry in the first. The Cardinals tied it on a 2-run home run by Zeal in the second. And now 2-2 on Hill. Right down the middle. Each team will have the top of the order leading off in the third. Expos jumped out to the lead. The Cardinals have tied them through 2. Here's tonight's White Castle Cardinal quiz. The question: which Cardinal was a member of the 1988 Canadian Olympic team? I don't know if there could be an easier question that we could possibly throw out there at you.
Well, do you think we ought to give you a hint, though?
Cardinals bat in the third inning.
No, it's not Bernard.
Tied at 2, top of the order. Gilkey, Ozzie, Jeffries. Kenny Hill gave up the walk and the home run in the second. Gilkey 0 for 1. He hit it hard, but lined out to center his first time. Hitting .251. Two and 0.
Bernard is 9 for his last 50. Hitting under 200 in his last 13 starts.
Right down the middle on 2 and 0. And Gilkey with the bat on his shoulder. Ozzie will be next. 3-1. Gilkey's hit 5 home runs, driven in 38. And to the left side, going to be tough. Cordero will put it in his pocket. A leadoff hit. So Gilkey aboard his first hit of the series. He's 1 out of 5 now. Hit the ball hard twice tonight, and he gets the leadoff hit here in the third.
Gets it off the end of the bat, breaking the bat, hits it in the hole. There's the all-star shortstop. He has committed 21 errors on the year. A good range. He gets to this one, but wisely chose not to make an errant throw.
Now Ozzie will try to move Gilkey up. He may drop down a bunt. Runner going, hit and run on, and Cordero will take care of Ozzie. 1 out.
Ozzie tried to guide it. The shortstop was going to cover when Gilkey was going, and Ozzie just kind of chopped it, tried to hit it through the vacated shortstop hole. This was by design. You see him hitting down on the ball and trying to hit it towards the shortstop, but Cordero was able to change direction, catch the ball, and throw out Ozzie, but he does advance Gilkey.
Go ahead run at second base with 1 out for Jeffries and or Langford. Saw the score. San Francisco losing at home to Cincinnati 9-7. Barry had 5 home runs in that game.
Once again, what?
Barry had 5 home runs in the San Francisco Cincinnati game. Runner at second, one out, and a 1-1 count.
Barry, as in Barry Bonds.
Well, Barry Bonds had 3 and Barry Larkin had 2.
Thank you.
Just a little trick for you, seeing if you're paying attention.
I was. It's just fun. Seemed a little interesting to me. I wanted clarification.
The chopper. Cordero gets the big hop and takes care of Jeffries. 2 out. Gilkey to third, 2 down, and Cordero did well to charge this ball and get the high hop.
Well, most of the time, if you're aggressive and you charge the ball, you'll get the hop you desire. Gilkey goes to third, but now there's 2 outs. Darryl really blossomed into an outstanding offensive player, and his defense will come.
Runner at third, 2 out. Ray Langford trying to put the Cardinals on top. Walked and scored his first time. He looks at ball 1. Cardinals trying to take advantage of the leadoff hit. 1-1 on Langford. Rays driven in 50. Missed. 2-1. Kenny Hill has allowed only 2 hits, but one of them 2-run home run. The other one a leadoff hit here in the third. Trying to pitch around that. He's 2/3 of the way there. 2-1 to Langford. Good pitch inside corner, 2-2. That is heat. And Hill's first strikeout. Cardinals get the leadoff man on, but still tied through 2.5. Welcome back, in time now for our White Castle Cardinal quiz answer. There's the question: which Cardinal was a member of the 1988 Canadian Olympic team? Réal Cormier. Ooh, that was tough. White Castle Cardinal Quiz is brought to you by White Castle. For that one-of-a-kind steamed grilled taste you're craving, come to White Castle now. Bottom of the third inning. 2-2 the score, and the top of the order coming up for the Expos. Here's Grissom. Ozzie in the hole, has to hurry, got his man. 1 out.
Breaking ball here, and Ozzie has to go to his right, playing him up the middle. And Ozzie can get on top with his throw.
1 away, and the batter will be Sean Berry, who homered his first time. Berry, an opposite field home run into right center field, his first time up. He looks at a ball, and the count evens at 1. Here's that home run that put the Expos out on top for a very short while.
They like to get their arms extended, see the ball out away from him, and he just drove it, and they kept on going.
Two and 1 to count. That's foul.
Urbani's velocity has picked up 3 or 4 miles an hour in the first inning.
It's hard not to get into the flow of a game in this ballpark. What a great atmosphere.
Now it is.
2-2 pitch. Full count.
You know, Joe, we experienced a new
something new last night here at Olympic Stadium. Going to the subway and have a crowd.
3-2 to Bering, and the looper to right. Witten puts it away. 2 out, nobody on. On Sunday, August 28th, the Cardinals meet the Reds. It's Gatorade Cap Day at the ballpark. All paying fans 15 and under receive this two-tone blue and red baseball cap bearing the Cardinal emblem courtesy of Gatorade. August 28th, when the Cardinals meet the Reds. Two out, nobody on, and Alou hits it foul past third. Pretty close, but Charlie Williams put up the hands, a foul ball. Missed it by that much. Alou singled his first time. Hitting .333. He takes it low. Urbani had a rough first inning. Set him down in order in the second. Trying to do it here in the third. That's foul again. That's strike 2. Charlie's in a good mood tonight.
Sure is.
Called a good game behind the plate last night. 1-2 pitch.
Let's see whose signature is on this baseball.
Here's what Leonard Coleman's signature looks like. See it?
I'm not too sure that baseball is legal. I only counted 107 stitches.
A 2-out hit up the middle. And Alou is 2 for 2.
He told me he's going to get 3 for 3, and I said, "You're only going to come up 3 times?" He said, "Well, I'm going to walk once."
So Alou gets the 2-out hit, and Urbani will have to deal with Larry Walker. Walker leading the National League with 40 doubles. A power hitter, also hitting .319, 16 home runs and 78 RBIs. Bagnazzi wanting these deliveries inside to Walker. That's a little too far inside. And it's 2 on, 2 out.
There is a point where you have to say, not that far inside.
So the hit batsman puts 2 men on, a man in scoring position, and the Expos look for the 2-out hit from Will Cordero as Urbani hits his first of the night. Remember, Kenny Hill hit Geronimo Pena last inning.
Jack Buck and I were talking with Felipe Alou. He says, our team is hit by more pitches than any team in the National League, but as soon as Pedro Martinez takes the mound, he's a headhunter, and it's all his fault. He said, we always give the opposition the benefit of the doubt. The pitch got away. Obviously, in that situation, you're not trying to. There's Pedro with the jacket on next to Juan Bell.
There have been some situations, though, where he has gone after hitters. I would argue that with anybody, including Pedro. Evidently, in their final game in Florida, he went after a hitter down there.
Well, they got into a situation down there, and with Chucky Carr breaking up a double play ball, running into Cordero, got in a little shoving match.
2-0 pitch out in front of a changeup, and there's your change, Mr. Roboski.
Oh, and what a perfect hitter to go after with Cordero, a very aggressive free swinger.
He was waiting for a 2-0 belt high fastball, and he got the changeup, and that's strike 1. Go ahead run at second. That's Alou. Strike 2. Cordero singled his first time, but was erased in the double play ball hit by Webster. 1 out of 5 in this series so far. Got a chance to interview Cordero on one of the stars of the game interviews last time they were in St. Louis. He is a big man for a shortstop. He's put together. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. That's a foul ball. And another fine play by the ball girl down the left field foul line. Little short hop she picked up.
Earlier she got one a scooter. This time, as you mentioned, short hop, and as long as she doesn't fall over.
Better than I do. Good play. 2 on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Cordero trying to put the Expos on top. Full count, and the runners will go. How about that changeup again?
3-2 changeup will get him.
There it is, and the fly ball to center sends Langford back over his head, off the wall. 2-run score, and it's 4-2 Montreal, and that's the last time I call a pitch. You have to credit Cordero. He was looking for it, and he pounded it over Langford's head in center.
Yeah, but Joe, let's watch where the location. I'm not sure that's. I don't think that's a changeup.
Now it is, but look where it is. You don't throw a changeup up there. That's a batting practice fastball when it's up there chest high.
Look at Webster cutting away. Strike 1. So the Expos back on top by 2. Mike Shannon will join you for the middle 3 innings. Wild pitch will send Cordero over to third. Urbani now has given up a home run, hit a batter, and thrown a wild pitch.
Sort of aiming some of these deliveries. The breaking ball, Tag shifts to his left and wasn't able to surround it, so it got by.
Runner at third, 2 out. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. Urbani has seen a 2-out rally happen here. A hit by Alou. He hit Larry Walker. Cordero hit a 3-2 pitch for a 2-run double. Now Cordero's at third with 2 out.
Similar to his last outing, Joe. You know, kept on throwing up 2 spots to the Mets. They had 3 2-run home runs in that ball game.
Two pitch up the middle, nicely played by Urbani. That saved a run, and that ends the third. The Expos get 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave their second, and after 3, Montreal on top 4-2.
On the confines of Wrigley Field in Chicago, all you have to do to enter is in this stealing of home with the Cardinals sweepstakes. The grand prize winner will receive round-trip airfare courtesy of Southwest Airlines. You'll also get hotel accommodations, tickets to the game, and other great prizes. To enter, send a postcard to Prime Sports Network, 700 St. Louis Union Station, zip code in St. Louis 63103. You must be 18 or older to enter, and no purchase is necessary. Contest ends September the 5th, so send your postcard today It's brought to you by Prime Sports Network and Southwest Airlines. Just plain smart. I'm going to get in that contest. Can we get in?
Sure.
All right, let's get in. We'd like to do that. Here's Mr. Zeal, and here is a strike, and we're underway in the fourth. A 1-1 count. Zeal having another fine season. The home run he hit in the second was his 16th of the year, and his RBI total is up to 60. He tries out Cardinals, and Will throws him up. He had a good at bat in that second inning, didn't he, Al? He fouled off 2 or 3 tough deliveries, and then he got one up in his zone, and you missed it, you say at home. Did you miss it? Well, we'll show it again for you.
Well, finally on a 3-2 pitch, he gets a hanging split finger.
Ooh, come on, baseball.
Right up there, not where Kenny Hill wants it. It was the 16th home run of the year for Todd, and he hit it a long way.
60 ribbies now, and his average all the way up to about 270. Whitten whacks one up the middle, and the potential tying run comes to the plate. It is Geronimo Pena. Pena struck by a delivery in the second inning. What did you think of that, Al Rabowski? Do you think he was throwing at it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I don't either, but if you were the pitcher, what would you have done? You'd have whistled one by Hill's uniform when he came up, wouldn't you? I don't think you threw at him either. But
no.
You have to protect your hitters. Pena had a home run last night. Been swinging the bat well.
You know, Mike, one of those deals too where, like a lot of hitters, Pena actually hit himself.
Well, yeah, I mean,
doesn't know how to get out of the way.
He stands right on top of the plate. We've talked about that, Al. I mentioned 2 or 3 years ago. I said someone's going to be seriously injured in this game because of the way the hitters dig in and will not give. And we've had, well, yesterday I think we had 2 fellows beat.
Kevin Seitzer.
There goes the runner, and Whitten steals his 9th in a row. He's 9 for his last 9 and 10 on the season. Yeah, Seitzer was beamed, and then the Cub third baseman also was hit in the face with a delivery.
Michelle, okay, here. Danny Webster usually a very good throwing catcher, and that one was not a particularly good throw, but Mark Whitten learning to pick his spots.
And Hill has always had a little trouble delivering from the belt. Take a little too much time with that high leg kick, hasn't it?
Right.
That helps also. There's a popping fastball. Geronimo Pena is at the dish. (4-2) the score here in the fourth. Expos have out hit the Cardinals 6-3, outscored them 4-2. And you could tie it right here, but he just gets a run home with a single right over Hill's noggin. Now that's the way they play baseball. The guy hits you, the next time up you send a line drive right past his earlobe. I mean, he whistled it right by the pitcher's head, didn't he? And did you see Hill? He tried to put his ears in his armpits.
Hey, you'll take note of this, and you mentioned you don't like to be hit.
Whoa.
Hill said, wait a minute, you're supposed to hit that pitch, and don't be hitting it back at me.
That's the way you play this game of baseball. And then you steal second base, right?
Right.
That's how you play. Let's see if Geronimo, who took care of the first part of that.
And what's the other thing, Mike? Go in their feet first. Take care of that
hard.
middle
Go in there
infielder.
hard. Well, if you're a middle infielder right now, and you're the guy covering, what do you think?
Well,
I've got to
today's
watch
guys,
myself.
today they will never think that a guy could come in there and say, I'm going to get even. I'm going to even the score.
Oh, look. And he stops, but starts, but then stops. And did you hear the infielder? There's about 3 of them. There he goes. That's also very valuable. When you start like that, you get about 3 guys to yell, there he goes. The guy that's covering will cheat that step, won't he? And if the hitter puts the ball in play and you're going the other way, it just might give a base hit. Short lead by Geronimo. And he draws another throw. 4-3 the score now, 4th inning. Geronimo on his first with only 1 out.
You mentioned a short lead. He was a stride away from even putting 1 foot on the turf. Used to be a routine lead with a foot on the turf.
Time called now as Hill took a little too much of it. And the Cardinal catcher, Pagnazzi, asked and received time. You can ask, but sometimes you don't get it from the home plate umpire. How many times have you seen a guy call time and just step out? That doesn't work. You can't call time. You have to ask for permission. That one will be close. It'll stay in play, maybe. What a play by Walker. No, didn't quite get it. Man, what a try. It's a wonder he didn't break his arm.
He tried.
He thought he had it. I think the fan took it away from him. And the fan has every right to do that.
Well, not when they go up on the dugout, but
oh yeah, if that ball's in there, they can get it just as easy. He had it.
Yeah, he had it.
He had it, and then it rolled out. Boy, what a gallant try, huh?
Right. Watch from this angle. Watch where he makes contact with the top of the roof with that arm. Look at that elbow. Look, he's got the bad shoulder. That's why he's playing first base instead of the outfield. But look at it banging right down the left arm and elbow under the dugout there. No fault with that effort.
And he had the baseball, but when his arm hit that dugout, the ball rolled out.
And he's on flat surface now, and then when he went and made contact with the ball, he stepped down into the dugout. So if he would have stayed on the same plane, he would have been able to hold on to it.
But you can't assist that player in the dugout. Gene Monk, who used to manage this Montreal team, had that rule changed. It used to be you went in the dugout, they could knock you down, push you away from the baseball. Now you can walk into the dugout and catch the ball. Mr. Monk knew the rule because he tried to take advantage of every inch of it. He was a heck of a baseball man. Managed the Phillies, he managed here, the Angels. Still works for the Los Angeles Angels. Tom Pagnazzi's at the plate. He's having some sort of a discussion with either the umpire or the catcher or both. 2-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out. Pena's at first. 4th inning action. Geronimo's a tying run. He's running, and he'll have to walk back. Good pitch for Pagnazzi to rip at, but he fouled it straight back. Hill has always had trouble with the Cardinals, hasn't he, Al?
Yeah, I think the part of it is that they know that he's basically a hard thrower, and predominantly the Cardinal hitters are fastball hitters. And he falls behind the counter often a lot of the time, and so he becomes a little more predictable of when he's going to throw the hard stuff.
Runner goes again, but they get the double play anyway. How about that play? That's twice now tonight we've seen the double play with a guy running. 6-4-3, and the Cardinals get only the 1 run. As the Expos bat, it's 4-3 Montreal. Hey, if you're headed down for a loaf of bread or a nice cold frosty 6-pack, maybe a little bacon for breakfast in the morning, you stop by your Snooks store and you have a computer there that you can buy tickets. I tried it last year, Al. I went into that new store right off of I-170 out there. Went up and said, I want to buy a ticket for the game tonight. Boom, boom, boom. She gave me a box seat. It was a darn good seat. You can get good box seats in 1s, 2s sometimes. All you have to do, if you'd like to try it, Afton, Baldwin, Breckenridge Hills, Butler Hills, Columbia Mall, Cross Keys, Grandview, Harvester. If you need information, just call 994-4544, 314 the area code. Go shopping and get your Cardinal tickets at Snooks. And a strike is in, too. The left-handed swinging. Cliff Floyd. This guy's been hot with the bat, but not in this series thus far. Urbani struck him out with a great pitch in the first appearance by this big left-handed swinger. Floyd, the opportunity to play when Walker injured that rotator cuff in his throwing arm. They put Walker at first, and they put this big fella out in right field. But here tonight, Moises Alou has him in left, and he has Floyd in left. Moises Alou has moved from left to right, I guess because of the hamstring injury.
Not as far as from the dugout?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, you know, Moises has a great throwing arm, so maybe you put him out there for that reason. Floyd is a first baseman.
And he tries out the Cardinal first baseman to no avail. That takes care of the first here in the fourth. It's a 4-3 Montreal lead. This Cardinal team mired in last place in the Central Division. Here is Mike Lansing, their second baseman.
Now with a victory tonight, the Cardinals can move back into a tie with Chicago.
Cubs lost today in extra innings. First pitch is a strike call to Lansing.
Atlanta is tied with the Mets 1-1, batting in the fifth.
We're in the fourth.
Expos are watching that scoreboard, right?
It's that time of the year, isn't it?
Well,
you know,
they have an optical illusion number up here.
Look at it this way, Al. Say we go out on the 12th. There's a strike, and it lasts for about 3 weeks or a month, and then you come back the last 2 weeks. We will have 5 splendid races, and I mean it'll be like a quarter horse race. They're going to turn them out of the gate, and they've got 2 weeks to get it done. Well, Jeffries lets this out go for a double. He came in, tried to get it and step on the bag, but he forgot one thing.
Got to catch the ball.
He forgot the baseball.
Right.
Let's see how they score this.
Watch him come up here, and then he checks to see where he is, takes his eye off it. And you see Luis Pujols, the first base coach, is telling Lansing, hey, go on, go to second, go to second. Still haven't ruled on it yet. Now they rule an error. E3, 2-base error.
It better be an error. Although
well, what about Grissom's inside the park?
Well, I'd give him an inside the park home run. What the heck?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the last play of the game. What will the headlines look like? Misplayed triple.
Yeah.
Scores Grissom.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good score.
Oh, no way. This fella can hurt you. You make a mistake, and Kenny Hill is able to drive the ball. And the first 2 by the Cardinal left-hander have missed. Make him a better hitter now. 2-0. So a 2-base error by the first baseman, Jeffrey, gives Montreal a chance. Ozzie has to get by John McSherry, the umpire. He does so. Throws out Hill. Over to third is the runner Lansing, and here comes Marquise Grissom, the inside the park man.
Very good effort to get around McSherry. You're the pitcher. You cannot allow Grissom to beat you here or get another run on the scoreboard. There's Big John. You know, he's really a hard worker.
Boy, he's a good umpire.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the best.
You see the size, but boy, he doesn't ever let that weight get in the way of his ability, and he's always hustling on the field.
He got his name of Bullpen McSherry a few years back because of all of the hustle. I think twice in the same series he was hustling down the line to see if a pop-up was going to be caught by a player, and he stumbled on the bullpen mound. Thus, Bullpen McSherry. But he has a very good map now of these parks around the league.
He comes out and walks around the bullpen.
That's right. He sent the cow out in the minefield. Changeup is a beauty, and it's in at the knees, and it's 1-2 now. You can lull yourself, Al Hrabosky, into making a mistake here now, can't you? You have the base open, but you're out in front, so you say, out of play and a souvenir for one of the fans.
Mike, a couple of the Cardinal pitchers had noticed on a replay with Grissom in the Florida series that he hit a home run off of Richie Lewis, and afterwards he picked the bat at, instead of putting it in the back rack, he took it at the end of the dugout along with him. Kind of was protected. And then they were kind of questioning last night that disputed inside the park home run that they kind of hit that ball reaching out away from him, kind of one-handed, off balance, and that ball went a long way. People kind of wondering if he's using a loaded bat.
You can ask for one tonight. Field to his left. Makes the play. That takes care of Grissom, and it takes care of the Expos. They strand their third of the night, and as we've completed 4 here in Montreal, the Expos lead it 4-3. As you see our line score here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, you see our pitchers. How would you compare them thus far, Mr. Left-hander?
Well, I think Ken Hill has the advantage just because he's got a 4-3 lead. A couple more strikeouts for Tom Urbani, but 2 fewer hits allowed.
It's a toss-up. And that's a strike to Tom. Urbani can handle himself, too, at the dish.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them are real proud of their efforts to this point. Put up a few more zeros, and their numbers could be respectable.
And a good pitch on the inside corner. Well, Mr. Hill is trying to become the first 15-game winner in the National League. Mr. T is already past 15 over the American League. Ground ball up the middle, and there's the pitcher on base. That usually spells trouble. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Coca-Cola and the Cardinals have teamed up for Coca-Cola Autograph Ball Night. We'll be taking on the Florida Marlins on Saturday night, the 17th of September. And all you paying fans, 15 and under, that attend that ball game will receive a stamped autograph ball encased in a plastic ball holder for display, courtesy of Coca-Cola. September the 17th. Gilkey at the dish. Bernard has lined to center. He's singled, and they do not like the way Mr. Hill is throwing, and they're going to get the bullpen busy.
And odd when you got Kenny Hill on the mound and he's got a 1-run lead, and you warm someone up here in the 5th inning.
Tim Scott. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Usually you think you have your ace on the mound, you got a day off.
Well, he's lost 2 of his last 3 decisions coming out of the All-Star game. And by the way, he pitched 2 hitless innings in the All-Star game. Kenny Hill did. Double play and make it easy here for him. Over but low, and it's 2-1. Third baseman Berry is about a half a step behind the bag. Walker holds against Tom Urbani. Cardero and Lansing are at double play depth. Good fastball. He really is Gilkey set up for the double play pitch now. Fastball over the inside corner. Now he wants that split finger delivery or the slider blown away, and he might get the 6-4-3. Oh yeah.
Get him reaching, trying to pull a pitch. That's where Bernard gets himself in trouble when he doesn't utilize the entire playing field.
Looks like he's coming back inside. He did come inside, and he popped him up. Who wants this? The left fielder. There's the first out. It's one thing to make an out in this game of baseball, but it's also another if you make an out and advance the runner. It's a big part of this game. You see those great hitters. Even when they make it out, they advance the man that's on base. In this case, it's not accomplished. They'll play behind the runner now at first with Ozzie at the plate. The Wizard 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to the second baseman and to the shortstop. Ozzie in his last 14 games has hit safely in 13 of them. And during that 2-week display of baseball, he's batted .333 and he's upped his average to .248 at the start of the night. Webster visits Hill.
Say Webster really an active player. Really has his head in the game, really takes charge, says things to pitchers, will pick up little things and try and help them out, guide them through a game.
He's trying to nurse Hill out of this inning. The 5th leadoff single by Urbani. And they got the bullpen busy as soon as that ball went into center field. But Gilkey is flied to left and Ozzie's in the hole with an 0-2 count.
Mike, you like that, don't you? Playing behind. Got a pitcher on at first base, playing behind him.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes managers just too cautious.
Up the middle, that baby squeaks on through, and the Redbirds have 2 on, 1 out for Jeffries. There you see the Cardinals' first base coach, Jose Cardinals.
With the mouth open, telling Lansing what the pitch is, whether it's going to be a fastball or curveball or breaking ball, so they can cheat a little bit.
Here is Mr. Jeffries. First and second, the Cardinal runners, only 1 out. Oh, beautiful fastball on the outside corner. Just nipped it. Oh, for 2 as he's grounded twice to Will Cardero, the shortstop. Urbani's at second. Ozzie's on at first. There's a double play ball. 4-6-3. And Jeffries is 0 for 3. And the Cardinals fail here in the 5th. As we go to the Montreal half of the 5th, they still lead 4-3. Big Southwest Airlines, Richard Chrysler Plymouth, come to the ball game and have a nice cold frosty bush. There is Tom Urbani, and he will work to the Expos here in the 6th. Leading it off is Mr. Barrett. Sean, 2-run homer in the 1st, flied to right in the 3rd, leads it off here in the 5th. And a good pitching matchup tonight. 3-6-1 Cards, 4-6-0 Expos. Big crowd here at Olympic Stadium. Their attendance is up, and they are leading the major leagues with the best record in all of baseball. Montreal Expos. There's their leader, and he has been a good one. I take my hat off to Felipe Alou. I think he mostly is the reason this Expo team is playing the way they are.
I have to concur, Mike. I mean, he just is a man's man.
He has these youngsters believing in themselves. He's patient with them. What a play by the Wizard. Another for the highlight show. Ozzie robs Barrett with that packet. Leaving his feet, catching the ball, and then springing up and throwing him out.
Ozzie plays way up the middle, and so he's able to get to some of these balls that would go into center field. And no one will scramble to their feet after diving. No other shortstop prior to Ozzie could ever do that, because once they dove for a ball, they couldn't scramble their feet and get up and throw someone out.
Ozzie has a distinctive manner. Here is Alou. Here is a chance for Whit. He makes it quickly, 2 in the well. That's what you have to do with these big, strong guys. Jam them with that baseball. Get it out over the dish, and they'll play wacky tack. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Just a few new numbers for you. Here is the very dangerous first baseman, Larry Walker. When they had Alou in left, Grissom in center, Walker in right, they had what was most likely the best outfield all around in all of baseball. They could run, they could throw, they could hit. They had speed, power. They could do it all, those three.
Not only could they do it, they did it.
Very good point.
And we were talking about earlier about you got to jam Walker. I think if we go back and look at the tapes, he's well off the plate now.
He jams in there. He jammed in there, and that'll take care of Montreal. 3 up, 3 down as Zeal gets the foul out. And we've completed 5 here in Quebec. 4-3 Montreal. Golf benefit September the 12th at Norwood Hills. It benefits children of all ages with special learning needs. So call Smokey Joe and join the 12th annual Lutheran Golf Benefit out at Norwood Hills. Langford starts but stops in time. Ball 1. 6th inning action. Hits are even 6 apiece. But Montreal has 4 of the 7 runs in this game. Right at Lansing. 1 down. Hit it on the button, but into the leather of Lansing. Zeal hit his 16th home run of the year in the 2nd inning. With a man aboard, and he now has those 16 round trippers with 60 runs batted in. And his average is up to 268. Outside is the first. He is swinging a hot bat during the month of July. In his last month, a 342 average with 10 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 24 RBIs.
Do that for 6 months, and you could have quite a total.
Well, if he goes at this pace, he can go to arbitration again, get another $1.5 million raise.
Well, there's another guy who get a chance to go to arbitration this year.
He'll be pitching mañana. He's coming off the DL and off of rehab, and he'll pitch tomorrow night.
Remember the last time he made a start for the Cardinals?
Right here.
Right here.
Pitched well.
May 14th, and he defeated the Expos and Kin Hill.
He'll try to do it again tomorrow night. They say he threw well in the minor league. He's throwing a little French at the bat boy over there. Real lives about, about 5 or 6 hour drive north of here. Tough play for Hill, backpedaling. Boy, he's a good athlete. What a play that is. How about that, folks? That's what you call athletic ability.
Oh, and just think of the coordination you have to do. Watching backpedal, going up the mound, then back down the mound, and reaching up at the same time and making the off-balance throw.
Yeah, it's tough enough to try to backpedal, but when you have to backpedal downhill and then reach up and grab something and then try to throw it, that's a pretty good play. Mark Witt. Mr. Witt in the last 5 or 6 weeks has hit over 300. Against Tilde, he came in 4 out of 11. He's now 5 out of 13 with a home run. Singled, stole a base, scored in the 4th. We're now in the 6th, and the Expos still lead by 1 run. Witten has designs on time. Good fastball on the inside.
Once you have to pitch hitters inside, that just shocked that more clubs don't pitch Mark Whitten in.
Like that. Half swing, it's 1-2. Then you can pull the string on him away. Let's see what Mr. Webster has in mind now. He has him in the hole, 1-2. He's throwing 2 fastballs inside. There he goes with that change away.
A split finger.
Misses with it. And more importantly, Whitten laid off. What do you think? Come back inside now, Alou? Yep.
I didn't throw the fastball, but I always wanted it in.
That's what he did. Ripped it to right. It has a chance, but no. Picks it off of the wall and right. He robs Whitten. This Montreal club is playing with determination. They're tough. Then as we go to the bottom of the 6th, the Expos lead the Cards 4-3. Right now, because space is very limited. The number is 1-800-888-4376. You can find out about Cardinals Dream Week in Florida. It happens next February when the snow is flying and you'll be in Florida. Wow. 4-3 Montreal on top, 6th inning action. Will Cordero has the big hit here. 2-run double in the 3rd. He's 2 for 2, singled in the 1st. Just inside, that evens the count.
The way Tom Urbani started this game. A single, a 2-run home run by Barry. Alou had a single, and then Cordero. 4 hits in the 1st inning. You didn't think he'd be around here for the 6th.
Well, the Cardinals have to get this guy, Tom Urbani, Al Rabowski, in their rotation. They've got to pitch him every 5 days from here on out.
I agree.
Let him get his confidence. Bring him to spring training and say, hey, you're in the starting rotation. You're going to be in the starting rotation come the All-Star break, so don't worry about it. Go out there and pitch, man. And we know you can pitch. You got to pump these guys up. You've got to bolster their confidence.
I agree with you, and I think that's the biggest difference with Ken Hill as a Cardinal and Ken Hill as an Expo. When he first came here, he had the potential to be an outstanding pitcher, but he was always looking over his shoulder. You know, and if I have a bad game today, will I be, taken out of the rotation?
Right.
But you know, at that time, though, in fairness to the Cardinals brass, you thought you were a contending team. And it's hard to develop a young pitcher if you're going to try to win.
The Dodgers did it all through the years. Take Koufaxes. You get the strikeout. Cordero chasing the pitch out of the strike zone. That K is the 4th. The 4th. Look what the Dodgers did with Sandy Koufax. They nursed him along for 4 or 5 years. But what you have to do, you've got to say, hey, we know you're going to be a great pitcher. We have confidence that you're going to make some mistakes. We're going to try to work these things out as we go. So you have to have that constructive criticism working with the guy, but more importantly, you still got to pump him up and say, you know, hey, when you're having a tough time, don't worry about that. You're going to learn how to do this. You made that mistake, don't worry about it. Next time, don't make that mistake. You just keep rolling along. You keep getting better.
This game is 70% pitching, but it's probably a higher percentage mental.
You got it, my man. If you don't think you can do it, chances are you're not.
And stop and think too, Mike. You know, we had to force the Montreal Expos to take Ken Hill. They wanted Real Cormier.
Base hit for the catcher, Lenny Webster. 1-out single. That will bring in Cliff Floyd. Hey, beginning Friday, live from Los Angeles, the Tennis Center at UCLA, PSN brings you coverage of the Los Angeles Open. Richard Krajicek returns to defend his title against players such as Andre Agassi, Michael Chang, and Boris Becker. That begins Friday, 9:30 Central on PSN. Pretty good Little racquetball players there, Alabowski. Would you think you'd take one of those guys as your partner?
Yeah, I'd take them as my partner. I don't think they'd take me. We'd be playing doubles with one on a singles team.
In at the knee. In at the knee. 1-1 now. 1 on, 1 out. We are in the 6th.
Tom Urbani has now thrown 102 pitches. And he has thrown 5 1/3 innings.
That'll get the Cardinal bullpen busy. That doesn't bother me. Here's a little dumper. It's going to drop to it. Yes, Webster can't get it. And after he fans Cardell, Webster a little base hit. Now Floyd dumps one into left center. And we'll have 2 on, 1 out. You know, Al, these guys get to 100 pitches, 110 now. I'd take that counter if I was manager. Take it away from the pitching coach. I'd send those guys to spring training. When they came out of spring training, they'd be throwing 130, 140 pitches down there.
There's John Habian up again, Lucy. You're right. They baby pitchers far too much in the minor leagues. And then they come up here, and that's why we have developed a bunch of 5-inning pitchers. That, to me, is a long man.
Yeah, those quality starts where you get to the 6th inning.
That is an arbitration stat.
Yeah, right. Do you think they count pitches on Maddox?
Well, you know what? He knows how to pitch. He doesn't get to that limit, but but he pitches until
he'll throw
game's over.
120, 130. Sure, he's got 9 complete games already.
My first year in the minor leagues, Mike, I had back-to-back games where I threw 163 pitches and 172.
Your arm didn't fall off, did it?
No.
Got stronger, didn't it?
It got strong.
I have the same philosophy.
I mean, those might be excessive numbers, but when you're talking about 130 pitches, 140, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, especially if you're on a 5-man rotation. I used to throw more than that, and they were on 4-man rotation.
Here is Lansing, first and second, the Montreal runners. 1-1 is the count. Webster and Floyd run the bases. Cardinals need a double play ball. Outside 9, it's 2-1. Both bullpens are active.
How about this, Mike? You know, since we average 5 innings per start, aren't you? And, you know, we have trouble finding 5 starters. Let's just go with a 4-man rotation.
Well, if you're going to do that, Al, you have to do it in the minor leagues. There go the runners, and that takes care of the double play ball, and it also takes care of Ozzie getting the force out. And the bases are loaded because they started the runner. Will they pinch hit for Kenny Hill? Will they? Hill in the on-deck circle. There goes the runners. Ozzie has to get into the hole. He saves the run by knocking it down, but he has no play.
Now they are going to pinch hit.
Yeah, I was thinking they would.
Randy Milligan will come in and pitch hit with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Kenny Hill gives him 6 innings, and he's in line only for the victory.
Cannot lose this one as he goes 6 innings. He gives 3 Cardinal runs on 6 Redbird hits. He struck out a man. He hit 1. He walked 1.
Torrey is going to counter. Rodriguez just went out to warm up, so they don't know if they will bring in Rodriguez.
No, he'll bring in Habian
right,
because of the right-handed hitting Milligan. And that's what's going to happen here. Urbani leaves. He cannot be the winner. He could be the loser. As Tom goes 5 1/3. He's touched for 4 runs on 9 base hits. Walked 4. Or excuse me, fanned 4. Let's take a little walk while Habian warms up. Here is Mr. Habian, 1-0, 1 save. He inherits. The bases loaded, 1 out. And they'll counter. They'll call back Fletcher, and they'll send in the left-handed swinging Darren Fletcher. Milligan announced and recalled Fletcher, who's been the everyday catcher, young man from the University of Illinois. The pinch hitter against Habian.
Now, Habian pitched last night, worked an inning in two-thirds on Saturday, and he's unscored upon in 8 games since his return from the disabled list, and has at least 1 strikeout in each of his last games. 8 games.
The game may be on the line right here as the Expos have the bases loaded. They lead by a run. They've out hit the Cardinals 9-6, outscored them 4-3. Only 1 out. Fletcher got a big base hit here last night when he doubled into the right field corner. They play him to pull. Infield, outfield. Infielders at double play depth, except for Jeffrey. He gets a ground ball over there. There's no way he can turn it. He's a little too deep in my estimation. Can't come home with it. And he's not going to get a double play.
And
Ball 2-0.
Leads the National League with 11 sacrifice flies.
He'd like at least that. Habian has fallen behind 2-0, and he's going to have to come to it now. And you can bet that Darren will be thinking long ball. Well, there's the sacrifice fly. They'll send him from third. Nope, they stop him. I wouldn't have. I'd have sent him home. But they stop him because they have Marquise Grissom, their leadoff man, and they have a lot of confidence in Mr. Grissom, and I don't blame them.
Danny Webster out there at third base. Bluff's coming home. Langford made a high but a complete throw to home plate, and I think he would have been safe. And I agree with you. Most advanced scouts will say run on the Cardinal outfielders any opportunity you can.
Here's Mr. Grissom. 10 homers, 42 RBIs, a .295 average when this ball game commenced. In his last 14 games, he's batted 400 plus with 4 home runs, and he's hit 3 home runs in his last 3 games. Just inside. Lancing at first. Floyd down at second. Webster the man at third. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And ball 2 is low. He went 2-0 on Fletcher, the pinch hitter, but he got him to fly to center. He's 2-0 on Marquise Grissom. Infield deep, outfield the same. Tough play for Zia, but he makes it easily, and the inning's over. So Montreal doesn't take the chance of sending the runner, and it cost them as they strand 3. They've left 6. We've played 6, and Montreal leads 4-3.
We move into the 7th inning here in Montreal. Great relief work from John Habian. And it's a 4-3 Montreal lead. New pitcher is Tim Scott. He takes over for Kenny Hill, and the bullpen will try to save Ken Hill's 15th win of the year. Tim Scott, another example of the great work by Joe Kerrigan here in Montreal. You look at the pitchers they've picked up. Tim Scott, Jeff Shaw, last night Butch Henry, Heredia, who's pitching tomorrow night. He's turned around Facero and Hill. Joe Kerrigan does not get a lot of credit, but he must be doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Mike touched on, Joe, is that they really build the confidence of a lot of these guys. Say, hey, you've got a good arm. We're going to give you the opportunity to go out there. And if you don't do the job tonight, don't worry about it. Felipe's going to put you back in there. There's Joe Kerrigan. I played against him. He was sort of a journeyman pitcher, got a little bit of playing time with these Expos. But you're right, he's done a good job in molding his staff, and they are number 2 in the National League to the Atlanta Braves.
Tom Urbani, the Cardinals starter, goes 5 1/3, allows 4 runs on 9 hits. He was helped out by great relief help from John Habian. Pena leading off. He stepped to the plate in last night's game in the 9th inning. Cardinals down by 1, and he went deep off John Wetland to tie it.
2-2 fastball. They wanted it away. It comes back over the inner half, and it was just a line drive sinking over the wall, and that tied it.
Pena showing bunt, takes a strike. It looks like that was all for John Habian. He'll end up going 2/3 of an inning, all zeros. The Cardinals will turn it over to Omar Olivares out of their bullpen. Cardinal pitcher is due up third in this inning, and they'll likely pinch hit for Habian. 1-1 pitch to Pena. Olivares in his last start was at Chicago. The daylight game on Sunday could not get out of the first.
Well, I guess that's the good news is you got a relief pitcher to go along tonight.
1-2 on Pena.
There is some good news. Alan Watson came out of the game, I think Saturday, a little stiffness in his shoulder, and he's reporting no problems and is scheduled to start on Friday in Pittsburgh. You see Allen, Fulbaugh, Watson, and Zeke.
Cardinals down by a run, batting here in the 7th. Pena 2-2 count. To the right side, Walker backs up and flips for the out. Pena now 1 for 2. Larry Walker certainly has not shown us any problems of moving to first base.
He backs up on this ball, and there you see a strong underhanded toss.
No tricks to the pitcher coming down the line. If you got a rotator cuff problem like Walker, you're happy that you can throw underhand.
Bagnazzi bats with 1 out and nobody on. And a wide strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Ball and a strike. On deck is Alicea. Looks like he'll pinch hit for Habian. Bagnazzi is hitless today. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a double play ball. 1-2. 37,553. The announced attendance here tonight. Good crowd.
Wow, we thought it was about 31 last night. We thought that was a good crowd, and now 37.5. What's going on in Montreal? They must have a winning baseball team.
Exciting ball club to watch. 1-2 on Bagnazzi. Right on that pitch. Tim Scott, his first inning of relief work. Hill went 6, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Now it's Scott. 1-2 pitch.
Felipe used 2 pitch hitters, Milligan and Fletcher. Brings in Scott, and he's got Shaw throwing.
Scott struggled here in this inning. He got Pena, and he's 1-2 on Bagnazzi. Into left center field. Maybe Alou knows something we don't. Grissom over to cut it off. 1 on, 1 out. Bagnazzi delivers, and Alicea will come up to pinch hit. First hit of the night for Pag.
Aggs picks up the Cardinals' 7th hit, and you could see this hanger right up there, and Bags didn't give anything.
So Alicea now will pinch hit. Unsuccessful in a pinch hit try last night. Struck out against Rojas. Runners on at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. The Cardinals were trying to tie or take the lead in last night's game. In the 7th, But Louis struck out. Now the tying runs at first with only one out here in the 7th. And a strike to Alou. Hitting .251 with 5 home runs and 22 RBI.
Louis is developing into a fine pinch hitter.
I think he's a little happier to see Tim Scott than Mel Rojas. Into left field should be the second out. Cliff Floyd. 2 down. Magnazzi still at first. 2 out for Bernard Gilkey.
I'm worried about Ed Randall.
Ed's got his talk show coming up after tonight's game.
Mayor Rudy.
Runner at first, 2 out. And Gilkey. That's foul. They'll give us a chance to tell you that tonight after the game, join Ed Randall as he speaks with New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani about the possibility of the Yankees leaving New York tonight on Ed Randall's Talking Baseball following the Cardinals and the Expos.
Yeah, everybody in New York said they go to more Yankee games if there was better security and more parking. Might have to move half the Bronx.
Talk about leaving tradition behind. There's no greater tradition still standing than the tradition at Yankee Stadium, but it is tough to get in and out of there.
You ever been there?
I have. Did a game there last year.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Runner at first, 2 out, and the 1-1 to Gilkey. That's well hit to left. Might put the Cards on top, but it will fall short. It died at the wall and left. Gilkey gave it a try, but he's the final out in the top of the 7th. Tim Scott gets through a scoreless inning. Time to stretch for 3 Expos. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-3. The Expos out in front, and Omar Olivares sneaks in out of the bullpen. He'll take over for John Habian, who did fine work. The last time we saw Omar out of the bullpen, he picked up a save against Colorado. Here he'll try to keep it a 1-run game.
Let's hope he does that. Omar, his numbers, this is his 2nd relief appearance of the year. And Joe, I mean, these are very important outings for a lot of the Cardinal players. Omar, I imagine tomorrow, Real Cormier. We have to decide where are they going to be part of our future.
Strike 1 from Omar to Sean Berry, who is homered, flied out and grounded out on a fantastic play by Ozzie Smith back in the 5th. Jammed him. Jeffries flips to Omar, 1 away. Colorado's playing at Houston, and the Astros leading in that game. Scott Service has a home run. They lead 3-0, bottom of the 6th inning, and Doug Drabek has a no-hitter through 6. Oh, baby.
You know, Joe, Houston would be walking away with the Central Division if they could beat Colorado. I think in 2 years or something like 4-17, 4-18 against the Rockies.
In the Central Division, the Cincinnati Reds have the lead over the Astros. And it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Then it's the Cubs. And then the Cardinals. 1-0 pitch. Alou leans back. The guy takes the morning paper out there to the wall and puts those banners in order. Cubs lost today. The Cardinals could pull back even with Chicago. They lost in extra innings at home to the Marlins. Alou, a couple of hits. He told you a 3-hit night.
told me a 3-hit night, including a walk. He's got 2 for 3 and no walking.
Well, 3 and 1.
He's had 6 consecutive multi-hit games. Atlanta and New York are still tied. Atlanta batting in the 8th inning.
Three-one pitch. Ooh, got it past him with a good fastball. The numbers that surprised me for Olivares, I'm sure surprise you, with regard to his walks to strikeouts. 3-2 pitch. And Alou stays alive. Omar is not a strikeout pitcher, and you would think the kind of stuff he has, he'd ring up a few more than he has.
Well, what you're talking about is 32 walks allowed in 58 innings and 21 strikeouts.
3-2 pitch. That's well hit to left center. Might get out at the wall. It is gone. 5-3 Montreal. Number 20 for Moises Alou.
There's his 3 hits.
He's strong. He is strong.
I'm going to tell you something. The way he's built, he's going to get stronger. Right out of the way, and he gets the bat head out in front of the plate and just drives it, pops the wrist, arms extended, so he has the leverage to hit it over the wall.
A 20 home run season for Moises Alou. And now Larry Walker looks at ball 1. Alou hit 18 a year ago. 20, his single season high at any point in his professional career. And he's just getting better and better. 2-0 now on Walker, and Omar Olivares is not doing it again. 3-0 on Walker.
Well, Joe, I think that's where I was trying to make the point about the Omars and the Olivareses and the Knicks, however long this season goes. I think you have to seriously say that the fate or their length of service with the Cardinals is in jeopardy, depending on how well they pitch.
3-1 pitch. Full count.
I think you're going to find an awful lot of guys that are eligible for arbitration will not be tendered contracts because of the. No, they just would command a salary that'll be far superior than to their value to the club.
3-2 on Walker. Well, they're getting some full swings in there. Count stays full. Walker has hit 16 home runs.
Joe's got a bullpen that he overexposes, overuses all the time, so he didn't get an effort from Olivares on Sunday. Puts him in this role to redeem himself. And of course, he's only given up 1 run, but he's faced 2 batters.
He was 3-0 on Walker. Now it's 3-2. He's had trouble getting the ball past Larry Walker. One out walk. A home run and a walk. The walks became embarrassing in his last outing at home against Chicago. And he issues the 1-out walk here in the 7th. Will Cordero 2 hits, a single, a 2-run double, and a strikeout. 5-3 Montreal here in the 7th. Larry Walker has stolen 15 bases. That's more than anyone on the Cardinal ball club.
out of 19 attempts. Omar with a lot of slow delivery to the plate because of the high leg kick. They might be looking for another insurance run.
Strike 1 to Cordero.
Not so much it's a high leg kick, but he wraps it around. Cordero, another fine night for this offensive player. 2 for 3. 2 RBIs.
Little jam shot to center. That's a hit. Walker will not head to third. Langford throws behind the runner. Pena knocks it down.
Pena somehow on that return throw, it hit him in the bare hand. I don't know if he reached in, hit him on the thumb there. Just watch. Walker very aggressively thought about going to third, throw behind him. And he short hops Pena. There you see him. Went off his thumb. Joe Torre will have to get Rodriguez back up again. And Buckles.
Buckles is going to leave this ball club tomorrow with his arm hanging. He'll be optioned out. Cormier is activated to start the game. 2 on with 1 out. Webster double play ball. Bullpen can sit down. 6-4-3. And the Expos get only the 1 run. On the home run by Alou, and after 7 in Montreal, the Expos lead by 2. 5-6-6-0, and I know you've taken the girls to Adventure Island.
No, I haven't. It's always closed when we're there. It opens up, I think, after spring training.
Ah, so no Fabian's Fun Court for you.
No, but I'm dying to see it.
8th inning, 5-3, Montreal. Al. Ozzie Smith will lead off, then Jeffries, then Langford. You guys aren't getting me in trouble. 8th inning, 5-3 Montreal, and Ozzie looks at ball 1. Tim Scott worked a scoreless 7. He'd give up a hit to Pagnozzi. This is a big inning for him. Ozzie, Jeffries, and Langford. 2-0.
Cardinals only trail by 2, so got a good man in Ozzie to ignite this offense here in the 8th.
He might take a strike. 2 balls and nothing to count. Yep, he's taken 2-1. Expos will warm up Jeff Shaw again.
At least 3rd time, isn't it? You know, they talked about in the paper today how tired and exhausted Rojas is.
Probably normally Rojas territory.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is probably Scott and Scott and Shaw will have to pitch the 8th inning. And you see Jeff Shaw.
2-2 on Ozzie. It was 2-0. 1 out of 3 tonight.
What was that graphic? You see 3 for 3 in his career against Scott. The Expos have banged out 11 hits. What's their record when they get 10 hits or more?
44-9. 2-2 pitch. Into left, but foul.
Let's make it 44-10. Expos have 11 hits tonight, and that stat is in jeopardy of being not quite so lopsided.
2-2. Scott looking for the first out here in the 8th.
Yeah, Joe, the Cardinals are 10 games under 500. Exactly 500 on the road and 10 games under 500 at home. These Expos are winning baseball at a rapid pace.
2-2 pitch. Ooh, that almost caught Ozzie on the hands. Full count. Every once in a while you'll look down and you'll see a new batting stance or a new batting approach from Ozzie Smith, and he's really crouched down now and really choked up. 3-2 pitch from Tim Scott, and the leadoff walk. A nice way to start it.
That'll get you in trouble every time in a close ball game, especially a good runner like Ozzie. Well, Drabek through 7 innings still has his no-hitter, and the Astros lead 3-0. They're batting in the bottom of the 7th. He's walked 2 and struck out 5, so it's not a perfect game.
Tying run at the plate. It's Jeffries.
Yeah, Joe, this could be the biggest opportunity or the best opportunity in regulation for the Cardinals to tie this game or get a lead.
I agree. Ozzie's on. Jeffries, Langford, and Zeal coming up. First pitch to Jeffries. Ball 1. Greg Jeffries against Tim Scott in his career has hit .750 with 4 RBIs.
800 with 6 RBIs will look a lot better.
Well, it's 2-0 on Jeffries, and Webster's going to go out and have a little chat with Tim Scott, and it probably sounds a little something like this. Throw strikes or you're out of here.
In 1970, the Expos had a goal of 70 wins in 1970. They had 69 wins. A young left-handed reliever named Alou was on the mound, falling behind the count to Ron Farrell.
Jeffries hits it into right, but right at Alou.
And I had fallen behind the count to Ron Fairley. Ted Simmons started yelling behind the plate, said, "Hey, don't be too fine now. Don't be too fine." So Fairley tells this great story. He said, "Well, the catcher's telling the pitcher not to be too fine. Well, I as a hitter won't be too fine. I'll look for a pitch right out here, and I'll just try and hit it nicely." They got their 70 wins on that next pitch.
So Allen nicely hit a Fairley drive. No, Ron Fairley hit a nicely pitched.
From Rabaski.
This was in 1970.
Yeah, that was their goal. 70 wins in 70.
That was what, your second year?
No, that was my first.
First year. Greg Jeffries is not happy.
Wow. How about this news when a 2-run home run by Rico Baronia with 1 out in the 8th inning off of Bedrosian scores Jeff Kent. Atlanta is trailing the Mets 4-1.
That's in the 8th inning. It could be a 4.5 game lead if these 2 games stay the way they are. Montreal Expos are leading by 2 here in the 8th, and the Braves are trailing by 3 in the 8th in New York. The only RBI tonight, by the way, for the Braves, a sacrifice fly by Kent Merker.
Richard Griffin there Very colorful PR director up here in Montreal has devised an optical illusion number, and that is with the imminent strike at date of August the 12th. Any combination of Expo wins and Atlanta losses, it stands at 7 now. The optical illusion would be
5 if it stayed this way.
And it's optical illusion because it's subject to change.
That might drop in center. Out goes Cordero. He's there. 2 out. And Langford's hitless tonight. His average under the 270 mark. It's going to be up to Zeal, who's already hit a 2-run homer in this game. He represents the tying run with Ozzie on at first and 2 out.
Well, maybe we need to see somebody that has a bad average against Scott, and he'll beat the odds. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Todd's going to get us a big blow right here because he's only 1 for 6 against Scott. Todd Jeffries was 3 for 4. Ozzie walked. He was 3 for 3. Langford was 1 for 1, so it proves my point.
Amazing.
If he does the job for us.
And a strike over the inside court. We're in the top of the 8th inning, and the Expos lead 5-3. Montreal hoping for 2 shutout innings from Tim Scott. Gave up a 1-out hit in the 7th, got around it. A leadoff walk here in the 8th. Just trying to pitch around that. Runner is going. Ozzie steals second base without a throw. That's number 6 and his 2nd of this series. Tim Scott forgot about Ozzie, and Ozzie had a running lead and stole second uncontested. So a base hit could make it a 1-run game. Zeal could tie it with a home run. Into center, pretty well hit, but Grissom is there, and the inning is over. Cardinals get a leadoff walk. Ozzie stole second. He's left on, and the Cardinals have left 5. Bottom of the 8th inning, Expos by 2-3. Montreal in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-run game was made of it on this swing of the bat by Moises Alou. His 20th home run of the season. It just did get over the wall, and Olivares gave up that extra run. It's a 2-run game. 3 home runs in this one, and the Expos lead by 2. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Cliff Floyd will lead off. Then Lansing, then a pinch hitter. Floyd in this game is 1 out of 3. And the chopper to Pena. Has to hurry. He got it. Barely.
Got a high hopper for Pena, so it's a good thing he had all the height. He could reach up and muster. He didn't waste any time. And a pretty close play right there, but they do clip the rookie.
1 out, and the batter will be Mike Lansing. Also 1 out of 3. Had a hit his last time up in the 6th. Going up there, hacking at the first pitch. Lou Frazier is in the on-deck circle, so he'll hit for Scott. Then the Cardinals will face Wetland in the 9th. Oh, 2. Now Frazier's been called back, and it looks like Juan Bell. 0-2 the count. Leadoff man gone. Lansing looks at ball one. Pena, 2 out. 2 down, and the batter will indeed be Juan Bell. Bell will hit for Tim Scott, who went 2 innings, allowed no runs on 1 hit. Struck out none, walked 1, and he really bridged that gap to get the Wetland.
Yeah, they really have some capable arms down there in that bullpen. They only have the 4 right-handers, Shaw, Scott, Rojas, and Wetland, and they're using the rookie Gabe White from the left side.
Juan Bell did appear in last night's game, not as a starter, but off the bench. And he looks at ball one. Bell hitting .272 with 2 home runs and 10 ribbies. 2-0.
Younger brother of George Bell. I wonder where George is now. I have to ask Juan.
Juan at one point was traded for Eddie Murray. He rips it to right. Witten back. And a 1-2-3 perfect inning for Omar. Witten will lead it off in the 9th against John Wetland. Cardinals will bat, trailing Montreal by 2. Chicago. Cincinnati wins again in San Francisco. Pittsburgh wins in Philadelphia 3-2. The Mets with a 9th inning 3-run lead at home over the Atlanta Braves. Houston leading in that game at home over Colorado. San Diego leading at LA in the 1st inning, and more specifically, Doug Drabek has a no-hitter through 7 as he faces the Colorado Rockies. John Wetland takes over as we move into the 9th inning with the Expos leading 5-3.
Well, John blew the save last night. It was his 9th of the season, but his first since June 17th. He had converted 9 straight saves. He ended up becoming the winner of the ball game. And you know, we talked about how important and good of a 1-2 punch between Rojas and Wetland. The Expos are 12-0 since June 17th in games in which both Rojas and Wetland have pitched. They're 26-13 overall. Rojas wasn't used tonight.
Witten into the right field corner. Alou will not get there. It's past him. Extra bases. Witten will head to 3rd, and he'll stand with a leadoff triple. Nice way to start. 1 pitch and a triple, and the tying run will come up. Wetland probably thinking, here we go again.
Well, he shattered his bat and broke the bat. Fastball hits it right off the end of the bat. He tried to cheat a little bit, get it started. Alou here dives for it. It's just beyond him, and by the time he gets up and retrieves the ball, it's a leadoff triple for Mark Witten.
That'll bring in Pena, who homered off Wetland last night. Runner at 3rd, nobody out, and Pena pops it up. 3rd base side for Berry. It's out of play. Strike 1. Alou Pena 1 for 2 tonight. His average at .254. He's hit 11 home runs. He's driven in 34. He's really giving some production out of that second base position.
11 home runs. It's the first time in his professional career he's ever been in double figures at any level.
He could make it a 1-run game. He could tie it with the long ball. 1-1. Wetland does not appear to have overpowering stuff here tonight.
Well,
At least at the outstart of this inning.
Doesn't have his curveball yet. And see where the location on this fastball in is. Oh, hit him.
A hit batsman will put the tying run on, and Pena letting the left arm hang. Boy, that has just got Excruciating pain with that kind of a fastball. It sounded like it hit the bat, so it must have caught a lot of bone.
You know, he just dives out over the plate. He hangs out over the plate, and he just never gets out of the way of any pitch. Now they wanted to come inside. They were, you know, obviously in this situation, you don't want to put the tying run on with nobody on base. Second time he has been hit today. And Felipe Alou is going to come out and talk to Wetland. He's starting to get a little feeling back in that hand.
Ow.
Take one for the team.
Well, he's down to first as the tying run, and Alou is trying to calm Wetland down. Here's that last pitch.
See him starting to stride into the ball. Now right on the elbow.
Oh.
Left elbow, and you know there's no meat there. It's just all bone. So you can imagine that arm went numb.
Pena aboard for the third time tonight. Here's the tying run.
Don Wetland, the player rep for the Expos, and saying, I've got a lot more responsibility, and it's over in New York. Atlanta's defeated.
4-1, so the Expos could lead by 4.5 if they could win here tonight. They lead by 2, and Pagnazzi takes it low, I guess. Ball 1. Pagnazzi tonight is 1 for 3, and Wetland is struggling. They have Jeff Shaw warming up in their bullpen if they need some help.
That's a nice thing when you have the 2-run lead and you start your closer in the inning. He can get himself in a little bit of trouble and still has the opportunity to get himself out before they score.
Pagnazzi could make this a 1-run game. He could tie it. He could put the Cards on top. That's foul right side, and it will get out of play. Strike 1. A solo home run by John Vanderwall in the 8th inning. Leading off, and the no-hit bid by Doug Graybeck is over. So's the shutout. It's now Houston 3, Colorado 1 in the 8th. Houston trying to keep pace with the Reds. They won today, and the Reds lead by 3.5 games. Houston with a win would keep it that way. 1-1 on Pagnazzi. First and third, nobody out. Pena running. Webster does not make a throw, and Pena is safe at second. Did you see how he ran down to second like his arm was broken?
You're right. I mean, look, he's even calling timeout, and he slid awkwardly into the bag, but not too sure. Watch him run down here.
Look at his left arm.
Look at. I wonder if he snapped it when he started to go with the arm motion. He's holding it to the side. He can't continue.
He's going to have to come out of this game. That's a big stolen base to get the tying run into scoring position, but you could see his face just change expression after his first couple of steps.
You know how as a base runner you go out and you run with your arms, pumping your arms. He went to pump with the first stride, and then the arm fell down to the side, went limp. Let's take a look at it again. Watch that left arm. See right there, he grabs it immediately and just holding it right there and almost afraid to slide. So now Gerald Young will go and pinch run for Pena.
It's going to be all for Pena.
And those are heavy bones, you know, on the forearm and elbow, but you've got the numbness once again.
Base hit could tie this game. The count 2-1 on Pagnazzi. Perry will be next.
John Wetland has blown 9 save opportunities this year.
Cardinals will try to make it 10. Wetland was the winner in last night's game and has a record of 3-6. Witten a leadoff triple. That was big. Pena was hit by a pitch. He stole second. He's out of the game. Gerald Young running for him. And a 2-2 count on Pagnozzi. Caught by Lansing. That's a big out. One away.
Good base running by Witten and also Gerald Young, not to be seeing that with their hearts and not say, okay, I've got to score, particularly Gerald Young. See him hold right there, and if he breaks, you got a double play.
Well, with first base open, the Expos could now elect to walk Perry and pitch to the right-handed batter Gilkey. But they will pitch to Perry, who's 3 pinch hits away from the all-time Cardinal pinch hit record, hitting .278 overall. Second and third, 1 out. A little surprised they're pitching to Perry. Strike one.
Well, I think what Felipe is saying, that I believe my closer can throw the ball by Gerald Perry.
One out of 7 in his career is Gerald Perry against Wetland. That'll score a run. Lansing, they'll try to get the out at first. Wetland over to cover. 2 out. And the tying run is 90 feet away after Witten makes it a 5-4 game. So the put out 4-1, the RBI for Perry.
This is always a play you practice in spring training. You got a runner that's going to be at third. You've got to come around, step on the first base bag, and then have the presence of mind to check that runner.
Don't allow him to come around to score.
Well, the Cardinals still not able to get that big hit, and they turn to Bernard Gilkey.
Looked like there was an off-speed pitch that Wetland kind of hung up there for Gerald.
Interesting, with a tying run at third and 2 out, Wetland does not have a wild pitch thrown this year. Gilkey looks at his strike.
It looks like he started him off with a slider. He's got that very good fastball and a very good overhand curveball, but he hasn't had good command of it.
0-1 pitch into right field. Alou is there, and the Expos win. 5-4 is the final, and the Expos have won 13 of their last 14, and now they're on a pace to win 110 games.
That's quite an accomplishment, and right now they have the best record in baseball. And Felipe Alou has his young troops really charged for however long the season will last.
A 4.5 game lead over second place Atlanta. 5-4 the final tonight. Back to wrap it up in a moment.